What's up, guys? This is Cashflow Kingdom. I'm with Christopher Williams. He's a realtor here in the Katy area, and I am Lamont Washington, mortgage loan officer with A&P Lending. What brokerage are you with again?
I'm with Keller Williams Premier. My property group is Harvester's Property Group. So yeah.
Awesome.
Let's do it.
Yeah, it's good to have you, man.
Right, appreciate it.
We're gonna actually start off today just doing some questions that he has that he wants to be able to answer for clients like yourself that have questions about mortgage, how to get into a property with the least amount of money. What are some questions that you're hearing a lot of from clients that I can answer for you?
I wouldn't necessarily say it's questions. I think it's just more of coaching. You know, people just need to be coached, especially in this market right now. You know what I'm saying? This market is crazy. It's always been crazy, right? But I just think buyers, they need coaching on how to navigate this market and be able to get the biggest bang for their buck.
Absolutely. Yeah, and I know you said that the market's crazy. A lot of people are like definitely scared when they see those interest rates go up, and it's making some people wonder if it's still a good time to buy.
Right.
What's your opinion on that, just real quick?
Man, you know how they say, marry the house. You can always refinance on the interest rate.
Absolutely.
So I mean, the interest rate, it is what it is. You know what I'm saying? Unless you, can find a good loan product and be able to get that buy down rate from the seller or even a lender in some cases. The interest rate, it is what it is.
Absolutely. Yeah. And so I'm really big on the coaching part too, making sure that we can educate everybody, understand the process of buying a home, like you said, and just relieving that fear that people have when it comes to buying their first property. So I guess when it comes to coaching, then what is something you want to start off with, and then we can kind of bounce some ideas.
Well, I think the biggest thing is just keeping your cool. You know what I'm saying? Because like I said, the market is crazy. You know, people watch the news, they watch different headlines, and everything is bad. You know, everything is always, bad, and just, it brings that anxiety level and just, it stresses you out. So, like I said, I mean, coaching, my job, my responsibility as your realtor, as your agent is to, number one, keep you calm, making sure that you have the right information and also plugging you in with the right resources like yourself who can also educate you properly. So you can be able to navigate this market.
Yeah, having that mastermind group around you.
There you go, man. That's
everybody on your team that can make the success happen.
Right.
Yeah.
Right.
So I mean, I guess we can kind of go into what should you be looking out for if you're a new buyer. I definitely want to talk about some loan products that are out there that can help people feel confident going into their first purchase, of course.
Right.
So, of course, we have the FHA. FHA is going to be your 203B FHA loan that can help you get into a property with 3.5% down. It's great for first-time home buyers as well. And that FICO level is the FICO minimum is actually going to be less than a 660. Of course, the minimum is 580. Right. So a lot of people can be able to get into that home and not have to worry about having a credit that's probably not as polished as they would like it to be at that moment. But they can work on that while getting into their first home.
Correct. And all these right here is just tools.
Yeah.
It's leverage. Depending on what you're trying to do, depending on your game plan, on your strategy, whether you're an investor or you, like you mentioned, a first-time home buyer, it's just a tool.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And it's our responsibility as professionals to help you choose the right and appropriate tool for you to be able to purchase a home or even property.
Right.
So, I mean, like I mentioned before, man, this market right now, especially being in February, it's one of the slowest months in real estate, but not for me. I'm sure it's not for you. But I mean, historically, it's like one of the slowest months in real estate. It's hard to be able to, move inventory in February. Why? Because it's cold. You know what I mean? No one wants to be outside right now, but those hungry sharks, investors, they getting it. And those are my clients right now, honestly. Investors. So, you got to get out there, man. You got to find the deals, and that's my job is to help you find a deal, and your job is to give them the check, give them the checkbook,
give them that way of leveraging, and not having to use all the money in their pockets. OPM, other people's money is the policy.
There you go, buddy.
There
you go.
And I'm actually majority investor side as well, as you know, and so I definitely like to try to focus on that side, because in my mind, it's a pathway to wealth, as you already know.
Right.
You know, and I'm really passionate about that.
Right.
And there's multiple loan products out there as well that I've got into this business to be able to help people get,
Right.
because not everybody's situation is going to be the same, and not everybody's going to fit into that box.
Right.
That, you know, that Fannie Freddie guidelines. You know,
Right.
you got to be creative when it comes to
Right.
investing. Like you said a couple of days ago on the phone, you got to make the money happen. You got to find, like, pitch ideas.
Right.
And try to come up with, like, what about this? What if we try this? How about
Right.
that? Always coming up
Right.
with contingency
Right.
plans.
Right. So I'm a veteran. So I mean, I acquired my properties utilizing the VA loan, and the VA loan, as you know, is 0% down,
Yep.
and it's a great product.
Yeah.
Especially if you're a veteran, and on top of that, in the great state of Texas, if you're 100%, from the VA, you also, they call it property tax exempt. So like I said, man, I think the biggest thing is just just keeping your cool in this market, and just understanding it's always a good time to buy. And
Took the word out of my mouth.
right, man. I mean, it's folks, they feel like they have to wait for this and wait for that.
Yeah.
Well, guess what? If you was looking to buy a year ago, 2 years ago, and you said, hey, I'm gonna wait because home prices are too high.
Right.
Well, guess what? Right now you got higher interest rates. What are you gonna do? Oh, I'm gonna wait because the interest rate is too high. Well, guess what? It's a balance. You're gonna have high prices of homes, low interest rates. High interest rates, cost of the value of homes go down.
Yeah.
I mean, it's just
It always just
it's a
balances
trend.
out.
I mean, it's a trend that just it's connected.
Yeah.
Everything is connected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, and when the interest rates were at their lowest, about 2-3% around that
Right.
area, people were offering 30-40K over asking price.
Right,
So now
right,
you ask
right,
yourself,
right.
okay, what? I'm still paying the cost of business.
Right.
Either I'm paying a high interest rate, but prices are kind of mellowing out,
Right.
or I'm paying a low interest rate, but I have to offer 30-40 over the asking price in order to beat these guys over
Right,
here.
right.
You're still paying something extra out of
Right.
pocket. So you got to just
Absolutely.
pick your poison, is how I see.
Absolutely.
You know?
And not just interest rates, man. There's also closing costs involved too.
Absolutely.
You probably know better than I do as far as what a seller can be able to give
Right.
cash. Not cash, but
Contribution.
a contribution towards the loan, so you can be able to either one, buy down your rate, or two, close the gap, but then cash to close.
Yeah.
So can you talk a little bit on, or just go over the percentages as
Yeah.
far as the max of sellers' contributions?
Yeah, so when it comes to conventional, it's going to be a max of 3%. For FHA, it's a max of 6%, which is the highest that I've seen. And then for VA, it's 4%.
So when you say percentage, right? You're
Of the
talking about percentage of
Percentage
what?
of the sale price.
Sales price.
Yeah,
Okay.
sales price.
All right. Because that's big.
Yes.
That's money.
Yeah.
Basically in your pocket.
Yeah.
I mean, not technically, but it's basically money in your pocket, because you got to pull money out of your pocket to be able to, purchase a home.
Right.
If you're utilizing the loan. You know what I'm saying? So, yeah, man, I mean, I think that's a great tool. It's a great leverage that you can be able to utilize to help you navigate this market right now. So that's why I tell people, man, that, people like to panic, but it's tools.
Yeah.
You just got to get with the right partners,
Yeah.
man.
And
That's
gotta
all you
know
got to
what's-
do.
And you got to know the options that's out there. Don't be scared
Right.
to reach out to people that are in that field, like
Right.
myself or
Right.
like you. Because if you just ask the right questions, say what you're trying to do, I can work around
Right.
I can find, all right, you got this, but this, and then these factors over here. All right, with that package, what loan would be best for that?
Right. Right.
And how can we try to give you a good incentive, or like not incentive, but like I guess give you the best bang for your buck. Like how can
Right.
we put your money to use and the least amount of money out of your pocket?
Right.
And so that leads me actually to something I want to talk about is down payment assistance right now in this market. It's a very, very popular topic of discussion for a lot of clients.
Right.
They're looking into that because they understand that the interest rates are high, but the prices still have gone up as an effect of what happened.
Right.
So everything's a little bit more expensive overall. And so how can I get into this property without having to break the bank?
Right.
And down payment assistance is a great way of doing that. Basically a second loan
Right.
that helps pay for that down payment. And then when you throw in seller concessions on top of that, I mean, we're
Right.
talking about max savings.
thousands. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
But so as far as down payment assistance, right? you mentioned it's a second lien. So when are you eligible to refinance so you can be able to get a lower rate? Because as you know, with down payment assistance, nothing is free.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So the only thing is free is, seller's concessions,
Right.
But when can you be able to refi? Let's say, down payment assistance jacks your interest rate up, a point.
Which it will.
Right?
Yeah.
So when can you be able to refinance to a lower interest rate?
So with down payment assistance, there is a requirement that you make. Okay, so there's two different down payment assistance programs. There's repayable and there's forgivable.
Right.
On a repayable, you do have an interest rate on that second loan, and you do have monthly payments.
Right.
The interest rate is 2 points higher than the original.
Is that two different payments, or is it that do they lump it into one mortgage payment?
It's gonna be lumped into one.
Okay,
mortgage.
I got you.
Yeah, so you're paying like the payment on that second loan and the first one at the same time.
Right.
And so for the repayable loan, it's like a 10-year that you have to basically be making on-time payments.
Right.
And if you were to refinance before that time, then basically, let's say you refinance, you're going to get some cash back. That balance that was left on that second loan is going to be deducted from your cash back.
Okay.
And then on a forgivable loan, it's 3 years.
Right.
And a forgivable loan, basically, you don't have to pay back, zero interest. You make no payment on that.
Right.
Just free money.
Right.
But there's a requirement of 3 years that you have to stay in that loan before you try to refinance or something, or that what I just said before,
Right.
they deduct it from your refinance. It's
Right.
gonna happen. Yeah.
Yeah. So that's very important because, like I mentioned, interest rates right now is a little bit higher, and you married a house and then you just refinance later. So, it's a tool. So if you're short on something as far as down payment, cash, like I said, we have tools for you to be able to utilize, and but you just got to know what you're doing because everything is a time frame,
Right.
Like you mentioned, 3 years and so forth,
Right.
And so you just got to understand
Gotta know,
that.
like, all right, when do I plan on refinancing or
Right,
selling this
right,
home?
right.
Have that plan in
Right.
mind. One thing I do want to mention though is with down payment assistance, this isn't a loan typically for your large ticket houses. And by large, I really don't mean like 500 over. I mean even like 400,000.
Really?
Yeah. What happens is that those extra points that you have to pay for interest, plus the house size, and plus the fact that you're technically getting a loan on the full price of the house.
Right.
You're looking at a payment. I'm seeing on average, is about 1% of whatever the price of the total price
Right.
is. So if you're getting a $400,000 home,
Right.
you're looking at $3,500 to $4,000 in monthly payments.
Right.
That's something I want to let people know. It's a great tool to use if you're just trying to get into your first property, and you really want to look in the 250 range.
Right.
Because that's going to be a more manageable monthly
Right.
payment.
So when you say property, can you describe like what kind of properties that you can purchase? I mean, we talk about 1 to 4 homes, but what I mean by what kind of property, is it an investment property or is it like a your homestead, meaning like your primary
Definitely
residence?
going to be for FHA or down payment assistance. Definitely got to be a primary residence, your
Right.
homestead, personal homestead. They don't allow investment properties.
Right.
As far as unit size for FHA, you can go up to 4 units. But if you're going to add the down payment assistance on top, only can go up to duplex.
Right. Because like I said, man, it's just tools based on your situation. If you want to be able to, invest in real estate, I look at investing in real estate anytime you buy real estate. I mean, if it's your home, you're buying an asset.
Building equity.
Right. It's it's an investment. So I don't want to get it twisted and say, you got investors and you got, home buyer. No, if you buy real estate,
Yes.
you are an investor.
You are making an investment.
You're making it right.
Yeah.
You're making an investment.
It's just the terminology has to be very clear how you're deciding to use the property. That's why we have to say
right.
it
There
that
you go.
way.
That's right.
Yeah.
Because if you're looking to purchase the property and then put a renter inside it so you can cash flow.
Yeah.
That you're considered an investment investor. Excuse me. And you have loan products for that too.
Yes, we do.
Such as
just to buy a property, get into it. Of course, you can start off with your conventional. We also have bank statement loans, asset loans. I can go into detail on those. DSCR is my favorite. Other than that, you can technically. You don't want to go into it initially with the mindset of it being an investment. You can use the FHA loan as a beginner way into it.
Right.
And basically, you want to make sure you you truly want to live in a home,
Right.
For at least a year.
Right.
And then if you decide, you want to get something better, bigger and better later on, you can move out of that home, put a renter in that home.
Right.
So you technically had an investment property with little
Right.
money.
So, like for an example, the VA loan, right? The VA, FHA, those are tended, or those are for people that's going to live in the home. Right. That's their homestead.
Yeah, 'cause they're government loans.
Primary residence. Yeah. And so the question is that I get all the time from my buyers is, hey Chris, how long do I have to stay in this home before I can be able to move out and put a renter inside of it? So you mentioned with the FHA loan is what you said, a year minimum, right? What about the VA loan? Is the same thing. Yeah. So there you go, man. I mean, think about it. If you sign a lease, if you're renting, normally you're going to sign a 1-year term lease, right? So that 1 year goes by pretty quick. Oh, yeah. By the time you close, move in, get pictures on the wall, get settled down, and just get used to the area and the neighborhood in your new home. Before you know it, guess what? That 1 year hits, and now you have leverage. You have an asset that you can be able to obviously stay in if you wanted to stay inside the home and keep costs down, but you can also be able to utilize your option to be able to move and then put a renter inside of it and cash flow and let that equity build over time. Yeah. But if you want to sell it, then you call me. You know what I'm saying? Then I got you. I'll be able to help you out. Sell that home. Take that equity out that home that you just sold and reinvest it back into real estate. Yeah, absolutely. Right. And if you have the right plan in mind and knowing what product you can use as soon as you finish that year, like for example, you know that you're gonna, if you use an FHA to get into a property, and after a year you're gonna want to find another one, you definitely want to take advantage of that refinance option and refinance that loan into that first original FHA loan into a conventional loan. You can even do a cash out. Right. You can use that cash, and then guess what? Now that new loan or that old loan is no longer an FHA loan, you technically can use the FHA loan again to get into another house and turn that first one into a rental property. So we just talking about strategy. Yeah. It's like I said, man, it's tons of, I call them game plans. Yeah. Right. When I consult with a client, we're talking game plan. Just like a coach. When you playing football, for example, I know we got the Super Bowl getting ready to come up, and those guys, I mean, they go through a game plan. Everything is script. Yeah. So you don't just go out there and just throw the ball. You know what I'm saying? No, everything is script. Everything is planned out. So like you mentioned, when it's time to refinance, you already know in advance, when you're going to refinance and what you're going to do when that time comes, or if you want to sell it or, put a renter inside of it. You've got a game plan, and you get that game plan from your professionals, us, your coaches, know. And so that's why I mentioned earlier, man, my biggest responsibility to my clients is to coach them because it's just so many different things out there that you can be able to do in real estate, but you just got to know what to do. Exactly. You got to know what's out there. Yeah. Right. Well, man, it was a pleasure having you. Yes, sir, man. Appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. I look forward to going into more detail on like investment properties and stuff like that, because like that's my passion. I know it's your passion too. Right. Talking about that. Is there anything that we can probably leave with before we go, or you want to? Again, man, like I said from the beginning, I think the biggest thing. If you're getting ready to be in real estate, or if you're thinking about being, in real estate, is to just have that peace and calm mind. Mm-hmm. Not everything is a panic. Yeah. You know what I'm saying? But, and just get the right coaching. Get the right coaching and just, allow that coach to be able to keep you calm. Yeah. Having that mentor, that coach that can hold your hand through the process if necessary. Right. And that's been through it. And that can see where you're trying to go and can help you is critical to helping you get to that ledge and take that leap of faith. Right. I definitely 100% agree. That's how I got started. There you go, man. All right, man. Yes, sir. I appreciate it, man. Yes, sir. All right, I'm going to catch y'all later. Stay tuned. I might post this on YouTube and Instagram. So if you're on YouTube, make sure you subscribe, hit the like button. If you're on Instagram. Also, where can they find you real quick before you go? On Facebook, man. So like I said, my name is Christopher Williams with Harvest's Property Group. Just look up Harvest's Property Group on Facebook. So how you find me is on Instagram is Chris_Williams HTX Real Estate. Okay. Right.
Dope. All right, cool, man.
Yes,
well,
sir.
I appreciate it. Like I was saying, y'all follow him. Make sure y'all stay up to date on these videos because we're gonna be dropping way more content for y'all, so y'all can
do it.
know what game plan you need to, develop and have. All right.
Right.
All right. Peace.